When I was in third grade, I was 8 years old, and I lived with my mom and my stepdad in this little town in northern Arizona called Parks. And my dad lives 20 miles away in the nearest big town called Flagstaff. And one day, in around, I don't know, August, my mom came up to me and she said, "Your stepdad and I want to move to Las Vegas." I said, "Oh, okay." And then she said to me, "You can either move with us or, go with your dad and move in with him in Flagstaff. But you'd have to, change schools." And so I've been, best friends with my dad since forever. So I decided to move in with him. And everything was going good. We got a dog, I was going to school, he was going to work. And, I don't know, around February, he wakes me up one morning before school and he says, "Hey, we're going to go visit your aunt today, later on, after school." I was super excited because I hadn't seen her in a long time. She was my mom's sister. So I was super excited. And so my dad went to work, I went to school, and it started out as a pretty good day. And, at school I went through my daily routine, I went to my classes, I was in third grade, so, it wasn't that big of a deal. And I went to the aftercare program after school because my dad was at work, and he didn't get off until 5 or 6, so then he'd come pick me up and we'd go and see my aunt. And so I went to the aftercare program, and it had just snowed the night before, so there's all this fresh new snow on the ground, and we were outside making snowmen and having snowball fights, and it was fun. It was a good day. And then they brought us inside and we watched Pocahontas, which was my favorite movie. And I was happy because they started the movie at 4, and then my dad would pick me up and the movie would be over, so it was perfect timing. Everything was going perfectly. And then the movie ended, I was ready to go see my aunt, and my dad didn't show up until, later, I guess. 5 o'clock passed, and he wasn't there. So I was really, I was playing with Barbies, third grade. Just hanging out with my friends and doing my thing, just waiting to get picked up. Then, 7 o'clock came and went, and I was one of the last kids there. And 8 o'clock, I'm still there, waiting. I was the last kid there. And the aftercare lady started talking to me about her hair, because it was all the way down to her knees, and we were just trying to pass the time. And then my aunt walks through the door, and all the thoughts about my dad, where is my dad, just went completely out of my mind, because my aunt was there. And so she picked me up, and we went to her house, and my 2 uncles were there, and we were having lasagna for dinner, which was my favorite. So I was super excited, I was stoked, it was great. And, we were watching TV, drinking soda, which I never did as a kid ever. So that was a big deal for me. And then around 10 o'clock, it was a school night, I was getting tired, and my dad was nowhere to be found. I was like, where is my dad? So I asked my aunt, and she looks at me, and she says, "Your dad got arrested today at school, while you were at school, and you can't live with him anymore. So you have to go on a train tonight and move in with your mom in Las Vegas." And I was 8 years old. How do you process that? I was just like, what? I didn't cry the entire time. I was just like, what? My dad wouldn't do that to me. My dad wouldn't leave me at school. He wouldn't do that to me. He was a good guy. But he did, and he got arrested for drugs, a lot of them, and he went to prison for a few years. And I didn't know if I was going to see him again. I had no idea. So they put me on the train that night by myself, overnight. And that was the worst train experience of my life. It was my first experience of my life. And that one day just affected me so much. I didn't go on a train since then until about a month ago, and it was bad. I did not like it. And so, with that day, I just never realized how much it would affect me. I have, trust issues now and stuff, going places. And that was definitely the worst day of my life.